Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. This is Anthony.
And this is James.
This is our movie news episode, but before we get into it, we want to tell you about this amazing experience we had. We were invited to the IMAX headquarters the other day to see the upcoming film Reminiscence, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, it was an advanced screening of the film Reminiscence with a Q&A from director and writer Lisa Joy. So this is her directorial debut, but she's a showrunner for Westworld and co-creator of that. And Reminiscence, we thought it was a really cool movie. It's starring Hugh Jackman. It aesthetically looks a lot like Westworld. It's kind of like a cross between Minority Report, Blade Runner, a little bit of Chinatown. It's like this
little
great,
Inception.
like this cool, like, futuristic backdrop of the oceans have risen and there's new technology. Like the character Bennett, played by Hugh Jackman, he can access people's memories. He's like a memory detective in a way, or you can experience those past things that really make you happy. And again, it's intriguing blend of sci-fi with romance as well. So it's like an old kind of noir mystery film mixed with new technology and this, again, backdrop of future climate change.
Yeah, she did a really great job with this film. She's the writer and director of the film and produced it with Jonathan Nolan, and they showrun and created Westworld together. So if you like that show, it has the same kind of tone, same kind of aesthetic, really beautiful cinematography, really intriguing ideas and themes, and I think she did a fantastic job directing this film.
Yeah, aesthetically, I loved it. Cinematography is fantastic. A lot of great action scenes. And terrific acting as well. And I love the music from Ramin, who does Westworld and Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So it's a cool movie to check out if you're into those kinds of films.
And if you're going to see it, you have to see it in IMAX. And IMAX has a lot of great movies coming out this year. October is going to be a big one, and the fall is just going to be packed with IMAX movies. So if you want to see something in theaters on the big screen, you have to go to an IMAX theater. There is no experience like it.
It was pretty epic, and those seats are so comfortable.
Very comfortable.
All right, but let's move on to the rest of movie news, and let's start with box office. So the Suicide Squad opened with a pretty poor $26.2 million weekend domestically, $45 million internationally, and so its total weekend was about $71 million worldwide, which is less than half of the original film. And yes, obviously COVID's still going on, and I think people are a little scared of the Delta variant, so they're not really leaving their house. But still, I mean, of all the other movies, like Jungle Cruise still did better than that. Black Widow did a lot better than that.
Godzilla and King Kong crushed that. That got $60 million opening
So
weekend.
I don't know if people just aren't interested in the Suicide Squad. Maybe
I think that's what it is.
I think why do we need another one? They think.
Yeah, I think that the first Suicide Squad was a massive success. It made a ton of money.
Yeah, like almost $900 million.
Yeah, almost $1 billion. But I just think that people didn't really fall in love with the Suicide Squad as much as like they fell in love with Guardians of the Galaxy. And this film, I think, is just going to be a box office failure, and they're going to lose money on this. But I think they were just trying to see, let's try it again with a new director and writer and see what happens. And I just think audiences didn't respond to it.
Yeah, we watched it, and I wasn't in love with it. It's pretty good. I would say in my top favorite DCEU movies, it's not even in my top 3. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people enjoyed it and thought it was really, really like rewatchable, but I feel like it's not even close to as good as the Guardians movies. So I think James Gunn, operating outside of Marvel, he's kind of a different director.
Yeah, I was surprised by it. I was expecting a lot more, and after watching it, I really do think that the original Suicide Squad is a better movie.
Yeah, the pacing was really slow, and there was like so much exposition forced onto us from like background on characters, and
there's a lot going on in it. It was hard to keep track of what was happening, even what the goal was, and like who was who, and
a lot of the jokes weren't landing for me either. I was like kind of bummed out. I thought it was going to be epic.
Yeah, the jokes didn't hit for me either. We laughed a few times, but you could tell there were lots of jokes and we were just like kind of silent. Like, I mean, it's like, it seems funny, but it wasn't laugh out loud funny.
They seemed like the super dry like Drax humor, which always like works for me in the Guardians movies. But it's too bad because I love Idris Elba and like I love seeing him in a starring action role, but I just wasn't feeling the whole movie in general.
Yeah, and even it's a movie that even Margot Robbie and Idris couldn't save, I think. And they're two of the best actors working right now. And so I think that it just wasn't quite what we were looking forward to. The trailer seemed interesting, but it just didn't do it for me.
But hey, to each their own. We hope you all enjoyed it if you really did and watched the hell out of it because, that's what movies are for. Not everyone has the same taste in film, but hey, if you liked it, you liked it. And then we have Free Guy, which had a $2.2 million opening on Thursday night. I'm actually really intrigued by this movie because this one's been on hold for like a year and a half, at least the entire time of COVID. That was supposed to come out that summer, I believe, or that early summer. And so I'm really curious about it because the reviews are coming out. It's getting high scores. And the trailer, like, it's still like, what is this movie really about? But it seems like just like a good time, and Ryan Reynolds just busting chops the whole time.
Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. So I'm pretty intrigued by it. And then Jungle Cruise is up to 71 million domestic, international 56, so 128 million worldwide for Jungle Cruise for its first, I think, was that 2 weeks? 2 weeks now. So that's not horrible, but I think they were expecting more for sure. And that's like all the big box office news I got.
And now let's get to the news.
More news.
So the first big one we have is Lord of the Rings image was released by Amazon Prime. And
put it injected right inside my body.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Let's go.
It's a great shot. It is very it feels like it's Lord of the Rings when you see that image.
Yeah, I'm not super knowledgeable about the lore, so I don't know exactly where the setting is and where they are, or what that city is that he's looking at, whoever that person is. But we'll find out. I'm sure some Lord of the Rings hardos know what's going on already.
Don't say anything because we don't want to mispronounce anything.
Oh yeah, we'll mispronounce the city name and we'll get a 1-star review on Apple. We got the first look at Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne in The Flash. A set photo revealed he's like in a crowd outside in a suit. So it's gonna be so cool to see the original OG movie version of Batman really don the cowl and cape again, put the suit on. I can't wait to do it. I'm sure he's very excited about it. Every interview I've read about him, he's like, it's like riding a bike. Like, I'm excited about it because he's always been like on set. The stories, he's like, I'm Batman. Like, he still thinks he's Batman.
And well, yeah, he's the original Batman, so he can definitely say that I'm Batman. No one else is.
Well, movie Batman.
Yeah,
Adam West fans will be like, hey, what about Adam West?
But unsubscribe. I also read an article where he said that he was blown away by the production and how big it is in terms of the Batman-esque quality. So there's going to be, I think, quite a bit of Batman in it.
Yeah, maybe he was surprised how much he's featured in the film.
Yeah.
And Muschietti's a really great director. I mean, the It movies are phenomenal. So then he's got even a bigger budget, and he's working with superheroes. And so we're going to have The Flash, we're going to have Supergirl, we're going to have Batman, I'm sure some other characters as well. It's going to be fun.
His horror movie's awesome, too, with Jessica Chastain.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's really fantastic.
So there's this interesting story about Moon Knight, which is a superhero film coming out by Marvel, which stars Oscar Isaac. And then Ethan Hawke was also cast as well. And there's a great interview with Ethan Hawke recently where he explains how he got cast. And he's like, I was just sitting in a coffee shop. Oscar Isaac walked in, came up to me, he's like, hey, I love your work. And Ethan's like, I love your work too. He's like, hey, you want to be in Moon Knight with me? Ethan Hawke's like, sure, man, let's do it. So that's basically how Ethan Hawke got cast in Moon Knight.
They seem like similar guys, like similar personalities.
Yeah,
you know,
I could see
kind
that.
of reserved, very artistic guys.
But also charming and funny.
Seem very smart.
Very intelligent.
Because Ethan Hawke's a very smart guy. He's actually written 3 novels.
Yeah.
He's a very intelligent guy.
And plus, I mean, he wrote scripts for the Before Sunrise trilogy.
Yeah, I think people don't realize how intelligent he is.
Yeah, I think they're going to have great chemistry on screen together. I don't know who his character is going to be because Oscar plays Moon Knight, but maybe Ethan Hawke plays a villain. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm down
But
for
even
that.
though Moon Knight kind of is a villain in a way.
I don't know who Moon Knight is.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
He's this guy.
It's just a guy?
It's like
Sounds great.
He's a Marvel character. He's like an anti-hero in a way who suffers from mental illness, so that I'm sure is going to have an impact on the storytelling as well. So
Oh, it's going to be like a Marvel Joker.
kind of, yeah. I guess you could say something like that.
And also, Disney revealed that they reached a total of 116 million subscribers in 2021.
My goodness.
Which is insane. That's almost half the population of America. And that's not, I mean, they're
not
worldwide.
only America.
Yeah, it's global, but that's how big the number of people it is.
That's insane. I wonder if China has access to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But don't you think they'd have more if it was because there's so many people in China?
Well, you got to think about the fact that not everyone that watches Disney Plus has a subscription.
Yeah.
We don't.
It's true.
So I guess you can average like 4 or 5 people.
Don't tell anyone. It's our roommate.
I didn't say that, Disney.
Our roommate has it.
But like 4 or 5 people use one subscription, I think
true.
is the average. So
It's
it's actually, you could probably multiply that by 4, and that's how many people are watching Disney Plus.
Probably,
you
maybe
could
even
say.
more. A couple bill.
Probably half a bill easily are actually watching Disney Plus.
Let's see what else we have.
So
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, it will premiere in theaters for 45 days before it goes on to Disney Plus, which I think is a great idea rather than doing the release simultaneously on Disney Plus. So obviously Marvel will make a great chunk of money, and I think it'll just perform better for audiences to see it in a theater.
I think that's a smart way to do it because I saw other studios doing the same thing with their films because I think we saw it with Black Widow especially, and I'm sure the Suicide Squad was affected by this too, where streaming is great. There's so many pros and cons to it. Obviously, we've talked about before. We should probably do a whole entire episode on it.
That's a great idea.
That'd be a good one to do. And, people have the luxury of, like, I don't have to go out. I mean, I'm not feeling well today. I just want to watch this movie. Or, you're still a little scared to go out because of COVID or whatever. And I think Marvel realized, like, you can optimize both situations. You can profit out them both. So why not get both going at the same time? Why not get the profit from the movie theaters? The people who want to experience it in theaters can go do that, and we can have it run longer rather than pulling it in a couple 2-3 weeks if it doesn't make enough money. And then also the people who want to wait just wait another month and you get to watch it at home. So I think it's a good idea. I think it's the best of both worlds in a way.
And also, I think they realized, I don't know what the exact money numbers are, but there's no way they made as much money as theatrical releases. Because theatrical releases, when movies come out, especially a big blockbuster, they depend on that opening weekend, that first 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to make a big chunk of their box office. And that's why the opening weekend is so important. So if a movie like a Marvel movie makes $150 million opening weekend, that's huge. That's domestic, and then it's making that much as well internationally. And so it makes their budget back in their first 3 days of release nowadays. But when it's on Disney Plus as well, they're earning. It was like all the ones they released on Disney Plus as well as theatrical releases. They were making like $60 million opening weekend. So they're making, I'm guessing, half the money that they usually would have made. So I think it's an important decision from them to be like, we need to do theaters first. We need that opening weekend money.
Probably less because, I mean, then you factor in the Suicide Squad making 71 in its opening weekend on a $180 million budget. So that film probably won't even make its budget back.
No way. It won't come close.
Because it has to get probably $300 million to get its budget back because that was advertised like crazy. So I would say...
No, it needs around $400 million.
At least $100 extra million on top of the $180 million for sure.
You need to double it.
Yeah, because the marketing campaign for that movie was absurd. That thing is everywhere.
Yeah, you need to double your budget to split even.
So I think hopefully it works because I'm still worried about the depth of cinema because even every month it's like touch and go what's going on with the box office and what's going on with films, and I'm worried that a lot of films probably might not get made if it keeps going in this direction where everyone's just staying home watching films.
No, a lot of films, more films than ever are getting made.
No, but now if they're not making enough money, their budgets are going to be smaller. They're going to have less films to produce in the future.
No, what's going to happen is less movies will be in theaters.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But the movies will still be getting made.
Online, but we love going to cinema.
Yeah, but I think that from what it looks like from this move, studios are like, we're not making any money on streaming, so we got to go into the theaters. So I think it's actually going to revive theater going.
Yeah, it's still a hybrid. It's a hybrid experience. We're evolving into this new world. So COVID, like we always say, this was eventually going to happen, but COVID expedited the process of a digital world.
I think that it's a great idea because before it used to be you release a movie in theaters and then 3 months later it gets released on DVD, Blu-ray, and now streaming.
Yeah, remember it used to take so long to get a DVD.
Yeah, so because they would milk the theater runs as long as they could. They'd milk it. And then now I think people want things so quickly, and there's demand. Like they don't like when a show has episodes coming out every week. They want it all at once. So I think they're understanding like people want the content faster, so we need to release it in theaters first, but also bring it out faster. So in a month we'll put it online. So I think it's a smart move.
All right, moving on.
Wild Indian trailer came out.
Cool.
And this looks cool. It's like a great, intense drama. It looks like it follows like a sociopath who's trying to blend in with his society and his family, and then also looks like someone who he harmed in his past has come back from jail to haunt him in his present. And it looks really cool. It has vibes of like a less funny American Psycho-esque where the lead is like this anti-hero sociopath. And it looks like it's a great step forward for Native American filmmaking.
Yeah, it stars Michael Greyeyes, Jesse Eisenberg, and Kate Bosworth. So it looks pretty intriguing. And then what do we have? Grand Theft Auto first 3 games getting remastered.
Yeah, so they're remastering the games. So they'll make it look a lot better, the graphics.
Man, we spent a lot of times playing those games.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we had 6 boys in our family, so like everyone had their own version of their own storyline going on. So like we were constantly switching controllers and just doing our own missions over and over again.
We had to take hour-long turns, and then you'd have to. It was so your turn would be up, and you'd be like in the middle of a mission. You'd be like, I'm in the middle of a mission. Then the other one would be like, yeah, but it's gonna be like 30 minutes longer. You gotta stop.
And then we'd fight, and then mom and dad would yell upstairs, "Stop!" Slam on the floor, "Stop screaming
You
down
each
there.
get 1 hour.
Stop fighting." That was our life for a long time.
And since I guess they had a great relationship, Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson making Jungle Cruise, and now they're partnering on a new film. They're both using their production companies to produce a new film, and it's going to star Emily Blunt as it's a Pinkerton movie, and she plays a real life female detective in the 50s, and she was like I can't remember her name. I didn't write it down, but apparently she broke in. As the detective realm is in a big way as the first woman.
That's cool.
So
I hope it has like a Sherlock-esque quality to it.
Yeah, sounds
I'm sure
cool.
it'll be cool. because they seem like they had great rapport in the film. Then like there's so many fun set videos of them and her making fun of The Rock in like his Iron Paradise gym, which is, you know about his Iron Paradise, right?
No.
Every movie he's shooting, every set, he has this moving gym that's called the Iron Paradise, and they build it for him. He just works out for like 3 hours every morning in it. So it's a giant gym. It's portable, and it's just on set.
That's awesome
because he's got to stay jacked.
Yeah.
Well, not he's beyond jacked. He's got to stay. He's got to stay like
monstrous.
a mountain. He's got to change his name to the Mountain soon.
Yeah, the new Mountain.
There's a new. I can't talk in the mornings, man. A new Tom Hanks film called Finch coming out. It's a sci-fi film. It looks pretty intriguing. It looks like I'm gonna cry like a baby when I watch it. But it's billed as this adventure about a man, a robot, and a dog who form an unlikely family before the man sets out on a quest to ensure that his beloved canine companion will be cared for after he's gone. And so it's like kind of a post-apocalyptic world where some sort of solar event has wiped out a lot of humanity, and he's living underground in a bunker that he built of his own. So it's going to be like Castaway, but a future film. It's too futuristic.
Yes, that sounds interesting. And Caleb Landry Jones is playing the robot, and if he plays the brother in Get Out, very talented actor.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, so he's awesome. And then Robert Rodriguez just signed a 2-year first look deal with HBO and HBO Max, which is a great thing. We love him. He's a great director,
cool director,
great writer. And so this means that he's gonna, every idea he has and property he is putting into a project, HBO gets their first look to make a deal with him. So he'll be making probably a bunch of things with HBO, series and movies and miniseries, I bet.
Atlanta Season 3 to premiere in early 2022, and then Season 4 is already in production. So it's been 3 years of waiting for Atlanta to be back. I think.
It's a big hiatus.
Yeah, so they're finally coming back, which is really cool because a lot of people enjoy that show.
Those actors have been really busy.
Yeah.
Like Keith and Donald, they've been doing a ton of stuff. So,
but also COVID, I'm sure, shut it down for like a year.
And Zazie Beetz is in it.
Yeah.
So she's been super busy
It's a
too.
cool show.
Yeah. Bullet Train. So this Bullet Train is this insane casted movie. It's got Sandra Bullock, Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Logan Lerman, Andrew Koji, Michael Shannon, Zazie Beetz, Masioka, and Bad Bunny. I don't know who Bad Bunny is.
He's, of course you don't know who Bad Bunny is.
Is it a rapper?
He's a Latin pop star.
Okay.
And so he's one of the biggest musicians on the planet. But why would you know who Bad Bunny is?
A very eclectic cast. And it's about 5 assassins who board a fast-moving bullet train to find out that their missions have something in common. So they're all probably assigned to kill one person.
Yeah, it seems like sort of
murder mystery
on a bullet train,
assassins.
but like a lot more bullets.
Yeah.
So bullet train.
A lot more bullets.
On a bullet train, get it?
Or
and
like
don't forget about our boy Hiroyuki Sanada's in this too.
Oh, nice.
But,
I missed his name.
Dude, I'll watch anything with Brad Pitt, but this cast is absurd, so it seems like it'll be like a crazy fast-paced action film.
It's like Train to Busan, but with assassins.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
I'll check it out. And then, so I think we talked about a few weeks ago, there's an Alien series coming out on FX, and it's coming from creator Noah Hawley, who did Fargo. He created Fargo, the TV show, and then Legion. So he says it's going to start rolling out in 2023, and he's very optimistic about it, and it seems like it's going to be pretty cool. He says it's going to be grounded. Again, I think they said it's going to be set on Earth, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'll check it out, the trailers and stuff, and see what it looks like. I'd prefer they stay in space, but it maybe financially it makes more sense to put it on Earth.
If Sigourney's in it, I'll give it a chance.
Is she going to be in it? I don't know.
They haven't said.
I doubt it, but it's being produced by Ridley Scott, so we'll see. And then
Ridley Scott likes money.
I gotta bring up Dune.
There's the weekly Dune mention.
So there's an insane making of book that's gonna be released with the film as well, and it's actually got its own score that Hans Zimmer made for that as well. And it's actually, there's images of online. There's 2 versions of it. There's a standard edition, then there's a limited collection edition, which is like $600, $700, $100. But I'm sure the other one's probably only $50 to $100. But it's really cool. Tons of like behind the scenes images. Anthony's looking at me like, of course he's talking about Dune again.
No, I'm looking for it.
But it's cool that we're gonna get a second score from Hans Zimmer that he did just for the book.
I can top that. He's actually doing 3 scores.
3 scores for Dune.
He made 3 albums. So the first score is for the movie.
The theatrical version.
Yeah, the second score is for this, and then the third score is something he created that you can read the book to.
Ooh.
So he like expanded what he did in this long form, so that he wants you to like read the book while you listen to this music.
What if you're slow at reading?
And you can just keep it on repeat.
It's
bro.
probably one of those like 20-minute Hans Zimmer sketchbook
So
songs.
it might be just a bunch of soundscapes. So I'm gonna get all of the albums.
It's kind of like Wonder Woman because he made the theatrical score for Wonder Woman, but then there's also a very cool synth 80s version of the score that he did, which I wish they used in the movie.
I think the synthy one, and they released it on Spotify if you all want to listen to it. It's awesome. I think that was his initial this is what I want to do, and then I think they toned it down, less synth.
Yeah, because I think when we
More
talked about
classical.
Wonder Woman 84, our podcast about, we're like, it's an 80s movie, but it doesn't want to be an 80s movie, rather than like taking the full plunge into being an 80s movie, which I think would have worked super well.
The music he originally made, I think, would have been way better.
Well,
it matched the tone.
His Wonder Woman 84 soundtrack is one of the best ones he's done in years. I love that music.
Yeah,
I
work out to it.
Dude, there's
It's
like
great.
4 tracks on that. It's on my workout playlist.
Yeah, the games track is awesome.
Themyscira,
Yeah.
and then Black and Gold is a really cool track too. So that score is
Open
phenomenal.
Road.
But if
Yeah.
you guys haven't heard the synth version, check it out. It's on Spotify.
Yeah, this is how big of a dork I am. I work out at the gym while listening to Wonder Woman.
I pretend I'm Diana. the childhood one that's running through the games.
If you guys have it, if you like to work out and you're looking for music to listen to Hans Zimmer action scores.
It's pretty
it
lit.
Pumps you up.
It's pretty lit.
Yeah.
We should make a playlist.
And then finally, our last bit of news is a trailer released for the miniseries Impeachment, American Crime Story, which tells the story of the Monica Lewinsky scandal with Bill Clinton. And it looks pretty interesting. It's got a great cast, and Clive looks great as Bill Clinton. And then Beanie Feldon is playing Monica Lewinsky, and Eddie Falco is playing Hillary Clinton, who I think is a great choice.
Yeah, Eddie's awesome.
Yeah,
from Sopranos.
Yeah, and from Nurse
Jackie.
She's great TV actor, and it seems interesting. And Monica Lewinsky is actually producing it, so hopefully, I think if she wasn't involved, they would have glossed over a lot of what happened. But hopefully this miniseries reveals just how dark it was, how poorly Monica Lewinsky was treated by the press, by the Clintons, by the entire party, and how she was basically destroyed by everyone.
Yeah, so fortunately she's been able to put her life back together, and she's very successful now. She's written some books, and there's actually a great podcast about this entire situation called Slow Burn. So it's a political podcast, and they talk about world events in America, and each season's a different topic.
Big controversies.
So season 2 is on this Clinton scandal, with not just the Lewinsky scandal, but some of the other stuff, like the other woman that he was accused of sexual assault from in that hotel room. So it encompasses basically the entire Clinton White House scandal in a way, but they focus a lot on the Monica Lewinsky scandal and a lot of her perspective in her interviews, and basically how it all happened and how it all came to light. And it really, I hope the show, because she'll be a producer, it gives her a voice rather than, the media just destroyed her and made her out to be this horrible villain. She was a 21-year-old girl working at the White House.
Yeah, and she was in Bill Clinton courted her. He's the most powerful person on the planet, and he's giving her attention and affection. And so you can only understand, you can try to empathize. She's a young, you're 21, you're an adult, but you're still a kid.
Yeah.
When you get to our age, you understand that when you're that young, you're still oblivious to much of the world, and you're still learning and understanding social understanding of other people and psychology. And so this girl was very much taken advantage of. And what that podcast reveals, if you're interested, you got to check it out. It's on Spotify and iTunes. It's called Slow Burn. It's her life was destroyed by the Clintons. It was destroyed by the press. She like you said, people looked at her as the villain and looked at Bill Clinton as the innocent
victim.
As though she's the one who did it, and she was the one who was the problem in the situation, where it was obviously reversed, and the media just ate her up, and the public just viewed her as, I don't, this is not a word I like to use, but the media and the public basically viewed her as a slut, you know what I mean, and as being a bad person.
That's what the headlines
said.
Yeah,
and she was I think she's mentioned in more rap songs than any other person as being a person who is very promiscuous. And so I think that her life, it's amazing that she was able to rebound, and she had the strength to build herself up again, because I think very few people would have had the strength that Monica Lewinsky did to overcome all of that and become a thriving person in the world.
Yeah, so hopefully it's a fair story. But again, check out Slow Burn, guys. It's an awesome podcast. Their season 1's on the Nixon Watergate scandal. Really fascinating
That one's
stuff.
great, too.
And then Tupac and Biggie is season 3, which is super fun and listen to and learn about. So it's a really great podcast. I recommend it if you enjoy podcasts besides movie stuff.
Yeah, it's great storytelling.
All right, and that's all we got for movie news number 11 today. Hope you all have a great week. Again, be on the lookout for Reminiscence. it looks cool to you, go check it out.
In
Sci-fi
IMAX.
noir. Yeah, IMAX is so epic.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks so much for tuning in.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Find us on all audio streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to check out one of these other videos right here for more content on our favorite films and breaking down all kinds of movie content. Thanks so much.